gentleman from New Mexico, Mr. Vasquez, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Vilsack, thank you for being here today and for your testimony. Thank you for what you and the department do for our farmers, our farm workers, our ranchers, our ranch hands, and our ranch managers. I just want to make it clear that agriculture doesn't happen without the workers. And that's not just the owners, but that's the folks that are working the lands. Expanding access to nutrition programs in New Mexico is one of my top priorities. And New Mexico has the highest participation in SNAP in the nation. 1 in 4 New Mexicans rely on programs such as SNAP and WIC to have the basic nutrition to go to work and go to school. Children and families are hungry in our state, and they need food to thrive. Now, the irony in this, Secretary, is that we work hard. We wake up early. We put food on the table for the rest of the nation, and yet we are the ones who need these food assistance programs the most. We struggle with food insecurity. 1 in 5 children in my district faces hunger. And without access to this critical nutrition, parents cannot focus on going to work or going to school. Now, I recently heard from Sophia, a mother in Las Cruces, who goes to school while working full-time to ensure she can feed her family. Since the expanded SNAP benefits expired, she struggled to feed her family while continuing her education. So it's clear to me that SNAP and WIC, when it comes to the entire equation of feeding our nation, are critical to strengthening food security for this country and strengthening our families. Secretary Vilsack, what more could we do to make sure that families like Sophia's, who are directly in charge of being the next generation of folks who are putting food on our tables, can have food security in one of the poorest states in the country?
Well, I think, first of all, making sure that you're adequately funding the WIC program you mentioned. To the extent that that WIC program is underfunded, that would mean fewer people would be able to access it. I think, secondly, making sure that, that there are not restrictions on the SNAP program that would make it more difficult for people to qualify or more difficult for people to get the benefit that they need to provide a supplemental assistance. I think, third, making sure that states understand the importance of taking steps to ensure that those who are qualified for the program actually participate. Unfortunately, sometimes there are circumstances and situations where states don't make a concerted effort to sign people up or to get people to participate in the program. And then I would say, in addition, making sure that the states that you are most concerned about are fully and completely focused on implementation of the summer EBT program, which is going to provide additional resources to families who have free and reduced lunch children in school. I would say those are pretty significant opportunities as well to provide help.
Thank you, Secretary. And I will just say one of the things that I've enjoyed most about serving on this committee, along with my colleagues on the other side, is the bipartisan committee that we've set up to help modernize the farm worker system that we have for folks in this country, including H-2A and H-2B, of which we should have some recommendations for the rest of our colleagues, but also before your department and the administration that helps some of those both domestic producers and immigrant producers, the folks who are working at these very hard jobs, be able to have the opportunity to put food on the tables of Americans. So thank you for that. The other question I have is a little bit different, but you were recently in my district. You were in Albuquerque, South Valley. We were announcing a monumental investment in broadband for rural communities, $40 million for the state of New Mexico. Secretary, how can we make sure that those dollars are being spent in an efficient way that truly delivers the connectivity that rural communities need, including small and medium producers that can now take their businesses online and produce niche products that can help support rural economies? What are the plans for the administration in terms of oversight and administration of these rural broadband dollars?
Well, each of the projects that are awarded resources have a team at USDA that follows the construction, the implementation of the grant to ensure that things are done in a proper way, in a timely way. And so that, I can guarantee that that will take place for every one of the projects that we award resources to. I think the other issue, of course, is that there are other programs outside of USDA that I think are very important to keep an eye on, and that is the resources that are being provided to states and state governors to basically fill in the gaps. Our program primarily is focused on improving the level of service that's available so that people actually have meaningful broadband access. We do serve underserved areas, but we also make sure that the level of service is adequate so that more than one person can be downloading something in a home, for example.
Secretary, thank you for your investment in New Mexico. Thank you, Chairman. I yield back.